This is the Sports Timeout Podcast with Jordan Atkins, Josh DePoe, and your host, Wes Underwood.
Good morning, everybody. It's that time, everyone, and welcome to the Sports Timeout Podcast brought to you by Fins. If you're looking for a caterer for your next big event or just want to have a great night out with that special someone, make your reservations today at finsjoplin.com. Wes Underwood here with J Squared. And fellas, are you guys still on cloud nine here, even a week later after that Chiefs win?
Yeah, building anticipation for the Super Bowl.
You're not taking a week off just like the Chiefs are in Tampa Bay?
I will say this. If the Bills would have beat the Chiefs, I would not have watched any television for 2 weeks. But because the Chiefs did win, I love turning on TV and hearing everything about the Super Bowl and the Chiefs. Good morning football. Always have great segments on the Chiefs. It's a fun time to be a Chiefs fan.
Agree.
All right. Well, we'll go a little different route here first, and we'll open up with some MLB action as the MLBPA rejects the universal DH rule, but they keep the 16-team playoff. And, well, I mean, I know that you got disappointed here a little bit in that, DePoe, so we'll start with you.
Yeah, it's garbage. No one wants to see a pitcher hit. It's terrible. It's like saying, hey, Harrison Butker, go play quarterback. It's the same thing. No one wants to see that. So they should do a universal DH. Not to mention, it extends careers of hitters.
Yes.
You can be a hitter and not play field and extend your career a lot longer than you can when a stinking pitcher. I don't care about double switches. I don't care about bunting and stealing home. I want to see home runs. Bring back the 90s.
It's true.
Chicks dig the long ball.
I am totally for the DH, universal DH. I agree with everything that Josh just said.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that truly nobody wants to see a pitcher hit, and more than anything, it's way more exciting. The clutch pit, if you're going to pinch hit, I mean, it's truly people that can hit.
Yep.
You know, I will say this: when you do the double switch,
it's
like the 15th guy on the roster. It's not somebody you're like excited, like, oh boy, this guy's up to bat. It's not that.
DH, you got a chance at a home run every time.
Every time.
I mean, the only teams to benefit here were the teams that had Greinke and Bumgarner. Let's be honest there.
Well,
recently.
Whole, but I mean, truly, just the whole even Stevens on the National League. I don't know. I just think it's going to draw more talent.
It would. Yeah, I agree.
Just longevity of careers is where it's at.
Yep.
We now head into the NBA, and we'll talk Miami Heat here. It was announced Sunday that the Heat wanted to bring back some fans, but in doing so, they want to bring in coronavirus-sniffing dogs at their home games to screen fans who will be entering. One, didn't even know this was a thing. Two, I feel this is a bit of a stretch. I mean, what do you guys think here?
I know nothing, Wes. I know nothing about the dog sniffing COVID dogs.
So my question is, here's my question, serious question for all of these Miami Heat fans. If a dog gets the coronavirus and can't smell, how will they be able to detect the coronavirus if they can't smell the coronavirus because they have the coronavirus?
And this dog could also pass it on to humans as well. So
this may be the most exciting thing since the big three. Dwayne Wade, LeBron, and who's the other one?
Chris Bosh.
Chris Bosh. They needed a third.
Oh my gosh. I think it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Wes, I'll be honest. It's ridiculous. It's stupid. If you're going to have fans back, just have them wear masks and have them socially distant and be back. By the way, Florida is very lenient, too, on this. I'm surprised they don't have fans already.
Yes.
Shocked.
Also, side note, the Warriors, Curry, averaging 28 points per game. This is the best I've seen him since 15-16. I mean, Wiseman, Oubre, Wiggins, Green, these guys are looking scary right now, despite their rough start. Currently the 8th seed. I say look out. Agree?
The West is too good. I do think they're going to be in the playoffs. I don't think they're going to have a chance to win much because the West is just so deep.
Okay.
I mean, they're just so deep. And, you know, my Thunder, though, hey, you know, we're going to talk NBA. My Thunder up. Thunder 8-9 right now, and they are just hanging in there. So that's how tough the West is. The Thunder, who's rebuilding, is hanging in there. So, anyway.
All right, into the NFL we go. We will talk Baltimore Ravens. Lamar Jackson will enter the final year of his rookie deal this year, set to earn at least $2 million. And, well, do you pay the man or do you let him play it out to earn a big contract?
Pay him.
Pay him? Yeah.
Pay him.
Why?
Lamar Jackson is more than just the flashy, one season and crumble. I mean, he's a legit. He has proven surviving several years in the NFL, even with defenses figuring out his scrambling stuff. I mean, he's good enough to be your franchise quarterback for a while.
Okay, Bo?
I would love for Lamar Jackson to have success in the playoffs before I say I'm going to really pay the guy. I mean, I would really like for him to have some success. Struggles mightily in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know his record off the top of my head, but it's not good. He's lost the last 2 years, actually. He's at least 0-3.
Correct.
This year, they did. Who did they play first round this year in the playoffs? Tennessee. Tennessee beat them. That's right. So, yeah, Lamar Jackson's yet to win a playoff game. I say, you know what? Why are you going to pay big money for somebody who's not going to win when it matters? Who cares if you can beat the Bengals? Win the playoffs.
Okay.
Oh, by the way, I'll add this in. Bleacher Report had the worst possible QB features, and it had like Cam Newton's accuracy, Carson Wentz's decision making, Big Ben's weight. My personal favorite, Lamar Jackson's digestive system.
Rumblies.
All right, and we stay in the NFL here, and we talk Detroit and Matthew Stafford mutually willing to part ways. The 32-year-old, I mean, dude only has one season below 2,500 yards due to injury. I'll ask right away, I mean, do you swap him to Houston and get that going there with Watson? Then you think Indy or San Fran? Patricia just rejoined the Patriots. Could the Patriots be a fit for him with Patricia being there? What do you see here?
I could see Indy be a landing spot for him. I mean, you know what's crazy? You said he's 32. Doesn't he seem older than that?
He does.
Like, just the way he plays. And I don't know, it's going to be a short deal, couple-year deal probably. The Colts make sense to me. Or honestly, I don't know, maybe goes with somebody, you know, as a veteran starter for a year, you know, somebody that drafts a rookie superstar here. Maybe he's a plug-and-play for a year. I don't know.
My question is, what is his career record? I mean, he might be the best bad player, great stats player in the NFL. I mean, he's behind all the time, so he's got to throw. So I'm curious if he's a winner. I'm curious if he can, you know, take a team to the playoffs. And I agree with Jordan. Colts are probably the best fit for him because they are a good team, a playoff team. And
similar style, too.
Very much so.
Of the Rivers and the...
And then Frank Wright, the coach, did wonders with Carson Wentz before leaving Philadelphia. So I think he might help turn around some of Stafford's career.
Okay, next in the NFL, how will things end in Green Bay? LaFleur defends his field goal decision while Rodgers says he just doesn't know what's next. I mean, saying a lot of a guy's future, I mean, they're both uncertain and, well,
Here's
I don't know.
the deal. I mean, I know Aaron Rodgers is towards the end of his career, but, I mean, he was pretty outstanding last year. And Matt LaFleur, like, eat a piece of humble pie. Like, you made a mistake. You should have gone for it for the touchdown. If you lose that way, you keep your job. I don't know. I think that there's going to be some controversy there, especially if he's wanted to trade Rodgers or put him on the bench. I don't know.
I mean, you said he's pretty good. He's the NFL MVP this year.
No, absolutely.
Yeah, he was the best player in the NFL.
And arguably played the best year of his career.
True.
I mean, and why would you take it out of his hands on that? I mean, that was a game-losing decision to kick a field goal.
On the flip side, the Packers, they could get a really healthy package for Rodgers. They want to trade him, though. So they might be able to help themselves.
You could deal him, and he could go resurrect his career like – I mean, he's in way better shape than like a Peyton Manning was going to Denver.
Mm-hmm, true.
But like, I mean, he could have another solid 3-ish years somewhere and still play great football.
His hometown team is the 49ers.
Ooh.
He was sad when they passed over him in the draft for Alex Smith. So wouldn't that be
Wouldn't that be full circle?
To go back to the Niners for a couple years, get him back to the glory land. That'd be fun.
Interesting thought there. That would be fun.
Yeah.
And now it's time for the 2-minute warning brought to you by Carl Richards 4th Street Bowl. Go see Will and his crew on Wednesday nights for 90-cent bowling night from 6 to 10 p.m. And, well, with the bye week this week, we will talk NCAA men's basketball and big matchups this week. And we'll start with tonight, number 7 Iowa heading into number 19 Illinois. Who you got in this matchup, DePoe?
Luka Garza all the way, Iowa. He's the best player in college basketball, one of the best. Iowa is going to win by 8 to 10 points.
Okay.
Agree.
Okay.
Agree.
I'm on the boat there with an agreement as well. And, well, tomorrow, number 9, Alabama, heads to number 24, OU. Who you got there?
OU off their big win against Texas. OU is a talented team with a lot of veterans, and they have Brady. What is his last name? He looks like Larry Bird. He's been there probably 13 years though, so he's really talented. Good player. I got OU in an upset only because the Big 12 is better than the SEC.
Ooh.
Okay. Agreed, Jordan?
Agreed. I agree.
Okay. I do not. I see Alabama pulling this one out. Yes, OU is hot, but I see Alabama pulling this out. I say 8-point spread. 8-point spread. And then next up, number 8 Virginia heads to number 28 Virginia Tech. This could be fun. Who you got?
I mean, if you like college basketball and you like to watch basketball, then you should never turn on Virginia. They're going to score 40 points, play really good defense, and be the most boring team in the country. Virginia's going to win. It's going to be like 41-40. Bore fest. I'd much rather watch 100-102 shootout myself.
I like it.
Okay.
I agree.
Agreed?
Agreed.
I'll go with that one. I'm not much into Virginia here. I got a guy for that one, and I did not seek his opinion. So I'll see how that goes. I mean, that could still be interesting to watch. Lowest scoring game ever, maybe?
Boring.
Lastly, we end with number 15 Kansas heading to number 18 Tennessee. This could be fun also. Who you got? Let's go, Jordan.
Oh, Kansas. They've got to show up to stay in the hunt here. Yeah, I'm going KU.
Well, first off, Kansas is going to get off the schneid, the losing streak against TCU tonight. They're going to whip up TCU tonight, get ready for Tennessee, and then we'll have the beat down to another SEC team like we do every single year. So not worried about it. Kansas in a long shot.
Okay, and we will finish out with the local sports update brought to you by Jefferson's. Join Rachel and her crew for happy hour from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday, and we open up with a little local college sports here, and we'll bring in MSSU baseball head coach who is currently 375 and 281 at the helm of MSSU baseball, Bryce Darnell. That was our CNC's Craves trivia question of the week. And, well, how are you, sir?
Very good. That's a lot of numbers you're throwing out there right there. So, no, we're good. We're enjoying a sunny afternoon at the ballpark, so can't get much better.
So this goes into my first question then. Last year you all get started, and then the season comes to an end, and you have a 16-5 record, 3-3 in the MIAA, 14-0 at home after ending the year before at 23-10 in the MIAA, and 21-11 at home. First off, what was the moment like when the season came to a halt, and how was it addressing your team that season?
Well, I mean, that seems like so long ago, but, really we're kind of bearing on a year, of course. But, it was kind of, honestly, Wes, was kind of not believable. Quite frankly, we addressed the team, I believe, on a Friday morning, and, we thought we were going to play our regular weekend. We were supposed to play Missouri Western, a 3-game series as part of our conference schedule, but we got word that was going to be pushed back on Thursday evening, and then things just kind of blew up from there. So we had a team meeting, and it was a week before spring break, and so the idea was to send everybody home for spring break, and we'll see where we're at after spring break. Of course, the rest of the story is we never came back from spring break, so things just fell off quickly, and it was very emotional for our older guys especially, but the NCAA granted those guys a free year, so to speak, so they're 5 of the 7 guys are all back from that, so hopefully make it right this year.
It's good, and speaking of bringing guys back, how does that help out or hurt your recruitment process in the offseason? I mean, decisions there kind of either, okay, I'm going to go play, or I'm going to stay home and keep it local.
Right. Well, as far as recruiting goes, I mean, we're limited by the NCAA on scholarships. Now, we were able to exceed that amount for 1 year just because the COVID guys returning and stuff. But really, the impact is more with the players than it is with the teams, because quite honestly, the fall of 2021, our recruiting class that comes to school next fall will just be smaller because there's less guys leaving our program because of COVID. You know, everybody got a free year, and so really the impact falls more on the player than it really does the teams, because the teams are able to retain some of those players that otherwise would be out of eligibility, and they're not because of the situation. So, recruiting, quite honestly, it does affect the student athlete leaving high school.
Yes.
You know, there's less opportunities, quite frankly, and it's just the reality of it.
Now, for everyone else wanting to know, what are the guidelines that MSSU and the MIAA, what are those for the spectators, and what precautions do your team have to abide by this year?
Yeah, so we know for sure while in the dugout you have to mask up.
Okay.
They're not making you do that on the field. As far as fans in the stands and stuff like that, the MIAA has not yet to release their recommendations to the schools yet. We open up conference play the last week of February, so we'll have some information by then. But until that time, you know, the schools left to make those decisions. And I believe basketball is at 20%. So I imagine until the MIAA comes out with their recommendation, baseball and our spring sports will also be at 25%. So that's kind of what we're anticipating. But hey, nothing's perfect, but we're happy to be out here.
And I mean, you get to start off a little perfect here. Your first game is going to be in St. Augustine, Florida, as you guys take on Flagler. What's the feel in the locker room going into that one? I mean, you guys are going into a warm, humid climate going from the winter here.
Yeah, so everyone's obviously really excited about that. That was you know, those games were scheduled pre-COVID. Okay. So it's not like, you know, we're doing something that we otherwise wouldn't have done. You know, those things you got to work on your schedule 2 and 3 years in advance. Yeah. So, you know, these returning seniors, or the COVID seniors as we call them, are fortunate they get to enjoy that trip. But, you know, there's a lot that goes into it. And, you know, with the testing and everything, you kind of hold your breath about the positive test. We get tested every Monday, and so we got tested this past Monday and had one positive, and we'll, you know, hopefully have 0 positives this Monday. But that obviously will affect our roster, who can travel and all those things.
So last question here, the important one. You're a football guy. Your team is Minnesota, who you got winning the Super Bowl. KC beat your Vikings hero from a couple years ago in Diggs. Or do you have Tampa?
Well, I mean, I say personnel-wise, Wes, we got to go with the Chiefs, don't we? I mean, don't you think that personnel, the Chiefs?
I'm all Chiefs all the time.
I know you're going to tell me the Chiefs are underdogs.
Yeah, I mean, Tampa's looking good, and Tom Brady usually has the advantage here. Not to mention their home team, so
that's the first time in 55 years, as you know, Wes.
That's crazy.
But you know, you got to give Tom Brady credit with what he's been able to accomplish. But, man, the Chiefs, not that I'm a Chiefs fan, but the Chiefs are definitely fun to watch with all the offensive weapons they got. So I'm going to have to lay the money line, Wes, on the Chiefs, quite honestly. But I think Tampa Bay is going to give them everything they want.
Agreed.
What's your prediction, Wes?
I got to say Chiefs. I'm going to say by a Harrison Butker field goal.
Oh, with time expiring?
Time expiring. I think it will be that. I do think it will be that close.
Yeah, I can buy that. You got to really give Tampa Bay credit for what they've been able to, you know, being 7-5 and then coming out of that and playing like they're playing. I really thought the Green Bay was going to beat Tampa Bay. It's hard to go up to Lambeau and win in the playoffs, but they were able to do it. Yeah.
Well, thanks, Coach, for coming in. MSSU baseball will open up their first homestand against Missouri Western on Friday, February 19th at 3 p.m.
Yep. We appreciate the call, Wes, and appreciate the coverage. Look forward to visiting with you again.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, Wes. Bye-bye.
Next, the MSSU men's and women's basketball teams both hit the road to take on Northeastern tomorrow, January 30th, in a doubleheader. The women will tip off at 1:30 p.m., with the men to follow. As for Pitt State men's and women's basketball, they head to Rogers State tomorrow. The Lady Gorillas will begin at 1:30 and the men will follow. We'll end today's show with the local high school sports update. The Joplin Eagle boys basketball team came out with a loss last night. Their next game will be in the Mercy Warrior Classic, which starts next Monday. Stay tuned to Joplin Athletics Twitter for more information. As for the Lady Eagles, their next game will be at the Seneca Varsity Classic, which begins next Monday as the Eagles take on Mack County. Pay attention to the Joplin Athletics Twitter for more information on that as well for times. Next up, we talk Webb City Lady Cards. They will play at Camdenton this Saturday, the 30th at 4 p.m. Then for the boys, they played Parkview last night and they came out with the win. Look on the Webb City Boys Basketball Twitter for more game time information for this Saturday. We now head over to Carthage as the Lady Tigers played host to Seneca last night and they came out with the win. Their next game will be next Thursday, the 4th, as they play host to Republic. Next up for the Seneca girls, they will play host in the Seneca Invite starting next Monday, the 1st. As for the Carthage boys, they head to Nevada Mo tonight to take on the Tigers. Game is set for a 7:30 p.m. tip-off. And for the Seneca Indian boys basketball team, they head to Purdy tonight to take on the Eagles. Tip-off is set for 6 p.m. Lastly, we go to Neosho. The Lady Cats took on Mack County last night, and they came out with the loss. Their next game will be on Monday, February 1st, as they play host to Carl Junction. As for the Neosho Wildcat boys, they play host to Mack County tonight. Check out Neosho Athletics on Twitter for times. Well, fellas, more music, another showdown, another Super Bowl approaching. I'm excited for next week's show and our special guest to come. Tune in next week, and that will go along with our trivia question as well. So for Jay Squared and Wes Underwood, see y'all next time on Sports Timeout Podcast.